Hi friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the topic disaster management under the UPSC Civil Service Examination Mains syllabus under GS Paper 3. Many students have a doubt how to approach topics like disaster management. Here we are going to discuss how to approach this topic, what should be the thought process for an IAS aspirant, what are the different dimensions that he or she should focus on, what are the concepts that he should imbibe, what are the facts and data that he or she should study. So I am going to take you through the overall thought process for disaster management. Many students tend to do a big mistake when they prepare for mains examination. After completing prelims, they will buy many resources and they will simply waste time. Please don't do this. Let's say you are a student who has studied properly for around 1 year. Now, when you complete prelims examination, you have to use the knowledge gained in this 1 year for mains also. Knowledge is integrated. Only the reproduction of knowledge is different between prelims and mains. So, throughout this preparation till prelims, you have studied for geography. You have studied for environment. Use the conceptual knowledge for disaster management. Apart from the conceptual knowledge, you are going to do some value addition for the mains part. Apart from that, you are going to develop your analytical thinking and critical thinking. Analytical thinking is nothing but you have to think across different dimensions. The existing knowledge should be taken to the next level. So this is called analysis. Do this for the disaster management topic. Please don't waste time by buying many resources. Keep resources limited. For disaster management, the current affairs that you have studied for 1 year is actually enough. Here also do some value addition. Then take the second A or C report. Take the summary for disaster management. In the summary, go through the important points that have been suggested and recommended from an administrative point of view, economic point of view, and from a federal setup point of view. Go through this report. Once again, don't waste time mugging up all the data. The conceptual knowledge, essence is important. Thirdly, you can selectively gain some knowledge as well as some information from the internet. This is enough, more than enough. I tell you, I guarantee. You should not spend more than 2 to 3 hours for preparation for disaster management topic as a whole for mains examination. You should complete within 2 to 3 hours. If you go ahead and learn and mug up lots of things, then it means you are going out of the syllabus, you are going out of the examination. Don't do this. So you have to complete disaster management within 2 to 3 hours. So within the 2 to 3 hours, let's see what are the different areas that you are going to focus and what are the different dimensions that you are going to study. Okay. So first thing, what is disaster? Should I go to the internet, go to Wikipedia and learn the exact definition of disaster given by World Bank or UN or Niti Aayog or the Environment Ministry in India? Not needed. You are already having the conceptual knowledge that you obtained from environment and geography subjects. So definitely an IAS aspirant can write in simple words effectively what is disaster. It is a sudden event that could be caused by either natural calamities or anthropogenic causes. Okay, such a disaster, such an event has consequences. It affects the geography, it affects the people, it affects socially, economically, geographically, geologically. So understand what is disaster. This is enough. This much conceptual knowledge is enough. Next, classification of disaster. Overall, disasters can be classified into two types. Man-made disasters, also called anthropogenic, man-made, created by human beings. And the other type of disasters is natural disaster. Under natural disasters, the important disasters are floods, cyclones, tsunamis, landslides, cloud burst, storm surges, and so on. You should be well aware of this. Already you have studied under geography. Don't waste time drilling and mugging up lots of facts. Enough. Man-made disaster. Once again, what can be the important reasons, ma'am? Deforestation, leading to other consequences such as soil erosion and so on. Unsustainable rapid urbanization. So these are all some reasons. Apart from that, climate change overall is another reason for increasing disasters. In future, we will definitely see extremes of climate events like droughts, floods, and so on. So have an idea about the different disasters. Enough. Thirdly, build a mental map. See the map of India. Have an idea. In which region, what type of disasters happen often? Himalayan region, Western Ghats. What could be the disasters? Landslide, cloud burst, and so on. What about the coast of India? 7,500 kilometer long coast, prone to cyclones, tsunamis, storm surges. Is there any rocket science? You have already studied under geography. So make your own notes. Okay, write yourself. Just draw a map, mark the regions which are prone to different disasters. Okay, here bring in some data. Okay, here in the notes we need some masala. Okay, what is the coastline of India? What percent of India's land mass is prone to earthquakes? So approximately just gather some data. Data is not much important for mains examination, but just garnish with the data. Concept on top of that, just garnish with some data. Even if the data is not accurate, it doesn't matter. Just give a relative figure. Okay. Then, impacts of disaster. What are the causes? Here you have to think on different dimension. Social dimension and economic dimension. Socially, disasters lead to mass migration of people, forced displacement. It leads to water scarcity, food scarcity, leading to poverty. It affects the livelihood of thousands and lakhs of people. Economically, infrastructure assets often get damaged during disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, cloud burst, cyclones, and so on. So here the GDP itself, a part of GDP, a minuscule part of GDP is wiped off. So these are the detrimental effects of disasters. Geographical and environment impacts are also there. Habitat loss, biodiversity loss, agriculture gets affected, agriculture pattern itself get affected. Okay, in a particular region in India, if they are growing a particular crop, a disaster may completely wipe off the crop. The crop may be shifted to another region. Okay, freshwater resources get affected often. Seawater, okay, saline water often intrudes into freshwater resources through disasters like cyclones, storm surges, tsunamis, and so on. Overall, the resources are getting affected. Ecosystem services are getting affected. Next is disaster management. How to manage disasters. This is a very important part. Here there are two dimensions. One is prevention and the other is mitigation. So prevention means first prevent the disaster itself. Second is mitigation. In case a disaster is coming, how to minimize the damage. For both prevention and mitigation, we need proper preparedness. For disaster management, please take the ARC report summary. Here important points are given. Important recommendations are given. when it comes to administration, we need a proper, effective, swift administration to tackle disasters. Here you have to think from the grassroots level. PRIs, Panchayat Raj institutions, and urban local bodies should be empowered to handle disasters efficiently. Then district level and state level. There should be coordination between state governments and the central government. Apart from that, we have to make use of tribal knowledge. The tribes, for thousands of years, they have seen disasters. They know how to take care of themselves during disasters. Such knowledge should be taken from the tribal people. Stakeholder approach is very important. Okay, so this is regarding administration and tackling disasters. Then institutional framework. Next dimension. Here you have to develop knowledge regarding the important entities and institutions. National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA, State Disaster Management Authorities, SDMA, National Disaster Response Fund, State Disaster Response Funds. Apart from that, at the international level, we have the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, 2030. Under that, under different goals, we have to work to handle disasters. Goal number 1, 2, 3, 11, 13, 15 and so on. 11 and 13 are very important goals. They pertain to tackling climate change. They pertain to infrastructure and so on. No need to list all the goals, not needed. Just to mention about SDG in the mains examination. Just to mention some 2, 3 important goals. 11, 13, enough. Okay. Next dimension, challenges within India while tackling disasters. The most important challenge is lack of coordination between center and state. Is it not? Then, from the grassroots level, we have to strengthen administratively. Lack of fund is a major problem for state government. Within that, the state don't devolve authority and enable the PRIs and ULBs to generate money themselves to tackle disasters. So here we have to bring some structural changes. At the grassroots level, the local bodies should be given authority to generate funds so that they themselves can tackle disaster management better in future. So always you should go for a integrated approach. Okay. Finally, solutions, madam. Very important. From a geographical point of view, we can go for certain systematic planning methods like floodplain zoning in areas that are prone to floods. Apart from that, in areas that are prone to tsunamis, we should increase the mangroves in that area. In many states like Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and so on, the mangroves actually acted as a natural barrier in preventing the tsunamis. So these actions can be taken. Apart from that, we should always go for sustainable development. Development on one hand and environment on other hand. The needs, the interest should be balanced. So overall, aim for a integrated approach. Then go for participatory approach, including the local bodies at urban level and village level. Include the Gram Sabhas. Include the tribals. Go for stakeholder approach always. Go for public-private partnership in developing infrastructure assets for disaster prevention as well as mitigation. Include NGOs also if possible. PPPs, NGOs, these are all standard points that you can give under solutions for different topics under mains examination. Go for sustainable cities. Use the smart cities project in future to develop sustainable cities that can withstand climate change. Okay. Apart from this, we have to integrate climate change mitigation goals with disaster management in future. Right? And at the international level, India should cooperate with other countries, especially with the neighborhood. As a region, we should cooperate with each other for disaster management. India, Nepal, Bangladesh can cooperate with regard to disasters like landslides in Himalayas? Yes or no? India, Bangladesh cooperate with regard to floods regarding Brahmaputra River, Ganga. Yes or no? India, Pakistan disaster management emanating from melting of the Himalayan glaciers. We have to work with Pakistan. They have to work with India. Develop this knowledge. So this is the overall thought process and the areas that you have to focus on. Don't deviate from this, just to follow what I advised. You will get a very good score in the mains examination under disaster management. Thank you.